Welcome to His and Hers Perspectives.
What's good, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the His and Hers Perspectives podcast. Now, tonight, as you guys can tell from the title, we are going to be touching on a very different topic to, what we are used to, right? And the thing is, I really wanted to do this video with my husband because, I believe he will be able to provide a lot more in-depth knowledge and insight to this particular topic. Now, as you can tell from the title, we are talking about whether or not we like or love the fact that we are Black, right? And as you guys would have noticed as well in my previous videos, I would always make that comment that I don't like using the term Black, and I would always refer to our people as melanated people, right? So, I used to get a lot of comments like, well, why don't you like to say Black, and what's wrong with being Black, etc. So in tonight's video, we are going to definitely break it down and hopefully shed some light on why we don't necessarily identify as Black, and this should hopefully give you guys a little bit of knowledge so that you can do a little bit more research for yourself if you don't want to take our word for it. And again, we don't say just take our word for it. We always tell people to do their research because that's what we do as well, right? So is there anything you would like to say before we jump right into it?
Right. First off, obviously, just from a basic understanding, this isn't a video about self-hate.
Right.
We understand who we are. We're going to get much deeper and much more technical when it comes down to that word, that term, and what, it represents. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to dig in.
Okay. All right. So with that, we are first going to play a video that I stumbled across a couple of days back. And I think it's a great way of ushering in this conversation. So with that, we are going to jump right in. If I can just add this to the stream.
Feel about Trump.
Hold on. I have to pull it back. I do apologize. Right. Let's go.
Do you identify as Black? No, it's a serious question because you might not identify. Can you please put the mic? Thank you. Do you identify as Black? No, it's a serious question because you might not identify. Can you please put the mic? Thank you. Okay.
When I walked into the room,
I am not done with my question.
Oh, young lady.
I'm just asking you to listen to me while
I'm about to answer the first question.
But I didn't finish my question.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Black.
Less than 9% of the people in this room are Black, and we're all not here for you.
First of all, she was very disrespectful with it anyway. Her questioning whether or not he identifies as Black doesn't necessarily come from the same thought process as I believe ours comes from. I think hers was more so in the vein of the whole gender identity movement, the whole other kind of identity movement, which is, something within itself.
Modern day.
Right. The whole swing of things today. So that's not necessarily where we're coming from with it.
But I just wanted to add something before you dive in, babe. What I want to say is when we finish explaining to you guys why we don't identify as this term Black, you will also understand why people like her and people who deal in the law treat Black people the way they do, right? So once you start to learn who you are and identify yourself accurately, more time things will be different for you. So I just wanted to add that.
And let me add something on top of that as well. I will say an instant where, we loosely use that term and do identify as Black, I will say that would be considered colloquialism. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's more so an informal term that, could be used on a whim to try to classify a group of people, but it's much more to it than that, and we're going to get into it. I want you to pause right now, stop whatever it is you're doing, and make sure to like the video. Everybody, hit that like button. It's free. It don't cost you nothing.
Yes.
It don't cost you nothing at all.
It don't cost you anything. And even subscribing, it don't cost you anything. And when you subscribe, you want to hit that notification button so that you get notified every single time we drop. Yeah. Okay. So, how do you want me to start? What do you want to do?
I think the best way to start is getting it from someone who held the highest title of the land. So we might as well go with the very first quote unquote Black president of the United States of America, Mr. Barack Hussein Obama himself.
And it's so funny, like if people really did their history, they would know that he was not the first Black president. But since, everybody think he is, we're going to just jump right into it. So we did have some screenshots because we wanted you guys to see that we are not just getting this out of thin air, but when I put it into the computer, it doesn't come up very legible. So I'm going to just read it from my phone, okay? But trust and believe, we did. Obviously cross-reference this. Do not believe what we tell you. Obviously the images and things like that got much more pixelated because we did grab these images from our phones. So obviously trying to blow them up for the computer, they did get pixelated, but by all means, cross-reference this information, look into it for yourself, and All right, so I'm gonna just read this screenshot from my phone. Okay, so it goes. So Tom Joyner interviews President Barack Obama on his Tom Joyner Morning Show and greets him by saying, "It's our first Black president of the United States." President Obama replies, "Tom, I don't look at myself as the first Black president because the word Black has no standing at law. The Dred Scott decision of 1857 states that a person of African descent cannot be a citizen of the U.S., and Barack Obama stated on the Tom Joyner Morning Show that Black has no standing at law. Therefore, Black people have no rights in the eyes of the law and are known as civiliter mortis. Civiliter mortis, civilly dead, dead in the view of the law. The condition of one who has lost his civil rights and capacities and is accounted dead in law." If you're appreciating the content and would like to show your support, consider becoming a channel member or sending a super chat, super sticker, super thanks, or alternatively, sending a cash app to # his, hers, perspectives.
Right. So obviously that was a lot right there. You know what I mean? So we're definitely gonna have to dig into that. Obviously, some of the key things that I heard and took from that immediately is Black has no standing in law. So when we use those terms and we identify as a color, right, that then pulls us into no man's land when it comes to legal status, when it comes to rights and things of that nature. So when you identify as Black, you are saying,
I have no standing at law.
Have no standing.
And you notice how they try to capture us as well by putting on application form Black African, Black American, Black Caribbean, because they are making sure that you identify as this ignorantly so that they can treat you any kind of way. right?
Right. It's putting you in position to be treated legally and lawfully a certain kind of way because you, by your own admission, identify to something that is written in their law as lesser than anything else or any other person.
Yes, because it says here that the Dred Scott decision of 1857 states that a person of African descent cannot be a citizen of the U.S., right? And Barack Obama stated on the Tom Joyner show that Black has no standing at law, therefore Black people have no rights in the eyes of the law, right? So this is why when you see them treat Black people of our nation a particular way, and they seem to get off easy, scotch-free on administrative leave and stuff like that. This is why, because in their laws that they write, and you guys, kind of okay by saying, yeah, I am Black, whatever, you're already telling them, oh yeah, okay, so in the law, legally, I can treat you any old kind of way and get away with it.
Yeah, we pretty much perpetuate it through ignorance. We perpetuate it. But with that, I think we should go ahead and jump into it because he did reference a case. He mentioned Dred Scott, and that is anyone who is into history, that is a very, very famous case. So let's go ahead and get that pulled up. I know I sent that one to you as well.
Please be sure to engage with the content by leaving a comment, hitting the like button, sharing, and subscribing if you're not already subscribed. And if you would like for us to discuss a particular topic, then go ahead and send us an email at hisandhersperspectives@gmail.com.